Hello and welcome to Part 10, Repairing Your Team. In previous modules, we've looked at ways to evaluate your team and team members. In this module, we're going to take a look at the reasons your team may be in need of repair and some of the tactics you can use to repair a broken team. Whether you're taking over a team or you've run some evaluations on an established team, you may well find that your team is in need of some attention to rebuild morale, relationships, or reputations. There's a million reasons that your team may be unhappy, but the most common reasons for team morale to drop are lack of psychological safety, lack of autonomy, heavy workloads leading to burnout, working conditions, that may be the space or the tools, unresolved conflicts, and poor communication, mostly from the leadership team. As a team leader, you have the opportunity to proactively resolve all of these issues. Google's Project Aristotle was a year-long study on the key ingredients into high-performing teams. Psychological safety came out as the #1 element in making a team really work. Your role is to ensure each member of your team feels comfortable and confident enough to present ideas, call out issues that they see, and be themselves at work. This leads to a sense of autonomy, as a team can only achieve ownership over their own work when they are happy challenging directives. Heavy workloads are symptomatic of wider issues. Either a planning process has fallen down, or the team is simply understaffed, which relies on you making a case for reducing throughput or increasing headcount. Working conditions relates to the physical environment in which they work. Is it well lit? Does it have enough space to work comfortably and collaboratively? But the conditions also relate to the tools that your team have at their disposal. For designers who are labouring away with slow hardware or dragging through inefficient software, this is where your relationship with IT and procurement come into play. An investment in working conditions has a measurable impact on the happiness of any team member. Unresolved conflicts is a far more tricky matter. Team members carrying bad feelings or resentment may have let issues grow beyond the point of repair. Making the call on a team member who has become toxic is by far one of the toughest assessments you'll ever have to make. But leaving an unhappy team member in place will ultimately cause far more damage to the team and to you than the effort of removing them. In Kim Scott's book Radical Candor, she describes this overly tentative approach as ruinous empathy. Ruinous because of the wider damaging effects. If one of your team is not demonstrating the appropriate level of engagement or positivity, it will be up to you to use the techniques covered in our previous modules to feedback and create a time-bound improvement plan. However, if your team member's unresolved conflict is with an inter-team relationship, then your relationship with that team's leader is going to be tested as you feed back across company lines. The final of our most common reasons for low morale is poor communication. And this is primarily from the leadership to the team. Morale can quickly fall when folks in your team are unclear on what's happening and why. Communication teams are a whole training course of their own, but for a design leader, there's simple tactics you can use to resolve these issues. In the same way that you would structure research findings, you should approach your team communication with the simple formula of headlines, implication, and summary. If you're using a meeting to deliver key messages, a follow-up email message can help those who process information differently. Now you've evaluated your team's area for repair, it's time to start working on those issues. You'll need to actively work to prevent those issues from coming back. Here are some simple steps that you can take. Plan rewards for your team. You'll need a mix of intrinsic rewards, for example, fresh challenges, freedom to explore, as well as extrinsic rewards, for example, Teams Day Out, celebrations, public shout-outs. Connecting the organisation's mission to your team's purpose, so everyone knows how their work contributes to the whole, and we'll talk more about creating a shared vision in later modules. Spotting silos. If you see silos developing either inside or around your team, you need to become the broker and the bridge. And lastly, embracing mistakes. By avoiding a blame culture and framing mistakes as positive learning opportunities, you'll maintain a good level of psychological safety. ensuring that your team is heading for high performance.